Sophia here from My Great Challenge. Welcome back to my channel and Vlogmas 2019. This is day number 8 in which I am taking you to the Morristown Historical Society, also known as Acorn Hall. This is a Victorian mansion and they are doing the Very Merry 19th Century Christmas exhibit this year, where you're going to see, if they let me film, and you're going to see a Victorian house which was built in 1853. That was the mansion of the Crane-Hone family. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, well, at least what I've read so far. And they're doing an exhibit on Victorian Christmas, Victorian decoration, but in particular, Victorian attire. So you're going to see a lot of Victorian gowns and setup. The house itself has been historically preserved. Nothing here is new except the infrastructure, like the plumbing, the electricity, and I think they put in a steam heating system in there, but everything else has been very well preserved. So before I show you the house, let me do a voiceover over the grounds, and I'll be talking a little bit about who Mary Crane-Hone was. So here's the house, and let me tell you, first of all, it is right off 287 in Morristown. This is a family home of the Crane-Hone family, and Mary Crane was an actress in the early 20s, and she decided to stop acting because she needed to go and take care of her ailing mother. So she came back from Hollywood and went straight back here in New Jersey to Morristown and took care of her mom. But then she continued to work, and she was interested in radio work, and then the World War II broke out, and she became a partner for the BBC Radio, who had a affiliate here in New York City, which is not too far, about 28 miles maybe from New York City. So she worked for radio for a while, and then she got involved with the United Nations, and she was kind of a socialite, but she was very interested in women's work, in particular in promoting women's in the workforce, and she was also part of the political world. So she worked a lot for political campaign of various Democrats here in New Jersey. She helped promote and elect one of the New Jersey governor, and then she worked for some other guy, Hadley something, can't remember his name. I'll put it right down here at the bottom of the screen, who was running against Dwight Eisenhower during the war, but he lost, so he didn't become president. Eisenhower did. But she continued to host parties for the Democratic Party here at Acorn Hall. And then New Jersey decided to build 287, which is a main road. It's like a highway that goes north and south throughout New Jersey. And she was very unhappy with that because 287 was actually going to cross through her property. She's got about 50 acres worth of land here. So in protest for against the construction of 287, what she did was her and a friend chained themselves to a bulldozer. And we're talking, this is the 60s, all right? So you have this lady who's literally chaining herself to a bulldozer to stop the construction of 287. Well, I took 287 to come here, so very obviously she failed, and she was very unhappy about that, so she moved out in 71. She gave her house, her ancestral house, which is the one we're visiting today, she gave it away to the Morris County Historical Society, and then she moved to New England and died in 1990, and I think she was pretty old when she died. So that's the story of Mary Crane-Hone, and we are going to see her parents and her home here in Morris County. So here we are entering Acorn Hall, and this is the formal living room. This is where the lady of the house would entertain her guest. A tidbit that I've learned today was that the furniture you see was restored, but it's original to the house. When the house was sold to the Crane family, passed down from the Homes, they actually bought it with the furniture. However, the gowns that you're going to see today were donated to the Historical Society. They are not family gowns. Beautiful gas chandelier. The Hone family built this house in 1853 to avoid the pollution from New York City. That was the Industrial Revolution, right? Well, this fireplace actually is a coal fireplace, and I don't know how they kept the furniture clean. So across from the formal living room is the study, which we're going to see later on, and here's the main hallway. I have to say that the ladies of the Historical Society did a fantastic job decorating it, and what they did was look at illustrations from the late 1800s, early 1900s for ideas on how to do Christmas trees and garlands. Beautiful gown in taffeta and velvet. This one I checked was stitched by machine, one of those pedal pushers, beautifully adorned. It was absolutely stunning. I really enjoyed all the gowns. These two are more of a formal wear, same thing, lots of rhinestones and lace. And here's the study / library. So when the man of the house would entertain, he would entertain in this particular room. If he wasn't home that day, you would leave your calling card at the entryway, and then you would get a message as to when you would come. You could come and visit. So this room could double as a cigar room, I assume. There was a library in there. You can see it in the mirror. Beautifully decorated. I've learned today that all of the curtains and draperies are actually original to the house, but they cannot wash them because they are so old they probably would disintegrate in the wash. This one in particular was really pretty. This is all hand lace, and the problem here that they encountered is that all of it was starched heavily, and it creates a feast for bugs, and it yellows over time. So they have to get a real restorer or restorator, whatever you call them, to come and take care of the curtains. This is an addition to the house that was later built but has become a dining room, and it was absolutely stunning. On the right here, there's a nice collection of early American press glass, which I'm going to show you later. And again, a Christmas tree that is decorated in the manner of the late 1800s, early 1900s. And then I've asked about the gowns, whether or not they were formal wear or black because of mourning, and I was informed that these are actually formal wear. The ladies used to dress in black for Christmas Eve. I don't know if you can see, but on all of the napkins, there's the C for crane. And the china I checked was D&J Haviland from France. The apern is not sterling, it's silver plated. And these are examples of early American pressed glass. So we are on to the second floor, where they of course have more gowns, and this one in particular, I'm going to give you some close-ups later on. This one is entirely handmade. It's absolutely gorgeous. They had some nice decorative items there. Most of them belong to the family. Remember,
that the furniture was sold with the house. Look at this one. This is stunning. It's got a matching little girl's dress with it. And this is the gown I was telling you about. This is entirely hand stitched, and I believe it is wool. And there's a jacket, and you see the little bit of lace underneath here on the sleeve. That's probably an undershirt. Very pretty, very well preserved. It was absolutely delightful to see all of these clothes. It looks like the ladies back then were kind of petite in height and in size overall, but you have to remember that the nutrition was different and they weren't doing much all day long. Like this, not like they were carrying the groceries or anything. This is referred to as the summer room because it does not have a fireplace in it, and the Historical Society has decorated it as a nursery for the holidays. And again, the Christmas tree that you see on the table here is designed to resemble the ones that they would have around that period. The bed was industrially made, but it is hand painted. This would be the master bedroom. Beautiful furnishing and lighting in this particular room. The quilt here, I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. It is all handmade and absolutely gorgeous. And right next to the main room would be what they referred to as the boudoir or the dressing room. And this one they've decorated as a sewing room. So there's a lot of bobbins and a sewing machine all over here in the back. I'm going to give you some better shots of that later on. Another beautiful gown. All the ribbon work in the front is hand stitched. Here's the sewing machine. I have never seen one like this. I don't know how to use this. Now this quilt, all handmade, is starting to fall apart because of the brown color that they added to the fabric back in those days. Over time, it's just too acidic for the rest of the fabric and it just disappears. This is a chatelaine. Ladies of the house used to carry those around their waist as a belt buckle, and it pretty much contains everything they need. They would have scissors, perfume, a little file, a little brush, maybe they have a seam ripper, needles. This is the music room. I'm sure you saw the piano over there on the left. This is a early Victorian gown, probably around 1865, 1870. And here's another shot of the music room with the piano, which I understand is a working piano. It's been fully restored. And I spotted this on my way out. This is a rose medallion, a 4-panel rose medallion.
So that's the tour of the Acorn Hall house. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit after 2 o'clock right now. The tour itself was about 45 minutes. You can't linger too much in the rooms, but she was graceful enough that she let me film and take a lot of pictures. And I gotta tell you, I can't wait to go home and put a little bit effort into voiceover for this video, which by now you've seen. Because I thought it was absolutely fascinating. The gowns were tremendous. The best ones, of course, were in the dining room and in the parlor, the entry parlor. But there was some very, very interesting elements of this house and decorative items. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. So this was Acorn Hall 19th Century Christmas. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to comment down below, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.